What's up, then?
Yeah, morning, study. How are you?
I'm great, man. Are you ready to podcast?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. What's the topic? Or Netflix and thing, right? Or streaming services and how Mauritius will compete, or if Mauritius is
Yeah.
going to survive.
Yeah. That's I think we should start with that one because it
Yeah.
affects me as a filmmaker directly, and I would say Zambia's I would say number one buyer of content.
Uh, so
Mm.
let's say, since Netflix is nothing new, right? Okay,
Yeah,
but here it's new in the sense like most people are now internet is now more affordable, so it makes it more accessible, right? Okay, let's say streaming services apart from Netflix or Netflix as well are now more accessible to people in Zambia. Because if some of them also be like, what do you mean Netflix? Like, Chan, like it's new. For us, it's new, right?
yeah,
Yeah, because I've noticed like was it last year I think when what's that internet provider? Is it iConnect or something like the more like you a bundle package where if you pay for the internet service,
you
you
can
just
use
you get
Netflix.
like
Yeah,
a free Netflix thing for like a month or so. Is it a month or like the whole duration of your child subscription?
yeah. It's unlimited as long as you're subscribed to Netflix.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, yeah. Regarding the same topic, Liquid Telecom, the guys
Yeah,
that
yeah, liquid, yeah.
they're like they're actually using more like Netflix to promote their thing,
Yeah, yeah, to
not
draw people
being
in.
directly, yeah, but they're offering unlimited
Yeah, indeed.
internet, yeah, unlimited. Uh, okay, for them it's whatever as long as you pay. It's on a monthly subscription, and
Yeah,
it will
yeah.
be uninterrupted, nothing. So you can binge watch whatever you want, Netflix in 4K and other funny stuff.
Yeah,
So
even the thing about Shan, I've noticed about some these streaming services can be like most of them
mhm.
don't work in Zambia. If you notice, like let's say Spotify. Like
Mhm.
last time I was trying to register my account for the podcast, right? It was like
Mhm.
saying nothing, like Chan, your country is not available for this service yet. That kind of thing.
Yeah.
I always wonder why, like, then you check under Zambia, Zimbabwe is there, like,
Yeah. On that part, I'm really not sure. And just to clarify, Zambia has got a slightly larger population than Zimbabwe, but I don't know why.
yeah, even for instance, even Apple back in the day, if you had to register your Apple account, right? You had to use some other,
Mhm.
yeah, but at least nowadays it's there now, right? If I'm not mistaken, I don't even use an iPhone, but
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's there. It's
yeah,
there.
because even now, like let's say the streaming service, right? There's Netflix, Apple has its own Apple TV, uh,
Yeah,
Hulu. Okay, Hulu has been there for a while now, but it's not. I don't think it can stream it in Zambia or can use this platform in Zambia. I'm not really sure about that one.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one
Yeah,
either.
but Disney Plus launches when in November or December somewhere, right?
Hmm.
I'm sure they're not launching a worldwide scale. Probably. That's the thing. That's the weird part about these things. You read about them, but when they get you, sometimes like it, it's after a month or so. Like unless for technology, right, if iPhone comes out next week, people will have the iPhone. But like this, my streaming says my sunshine, it takes a while for them to get here. Like if you notice that, like let's say my streaming services, like it takes a while for them to actually work proper in Zambia. If you notice.
Yeah, on that part, that's what bothers me as well. Like, I do wonder.
Yeah.
Like, the world is has reached a stage whereby anything that happens now,
Yeah,
uh,
we're all affected
whichever
at the same
corner
time.
of the earth, yeah, everyone can reach that. I don't know why they are not.
Yeah,
I don't. Maybe it's. I think it's their It's the mistake on these companies' part.
yeah.
Like on that, I don't think they take the entire world seriously.
Yeah,
But
they only focus on like a small group of, or let's say it's necessarily small, it's a small portion of the world in a sense, like America, North America, and Asia, even
yeah,
Australia. That's the thing.
because like even Australia,
Some shows, I read somewhere like some shows don't show, some shows are more like some parts of the world are shown like less than Netflix shows like I remember reading something on the Daredevil when Daredevil was coming out like faces and like some was complaining from Australia like we can't get net we can't watch net we can't watch Daredevil on my something like we can't access Daredevil like on Sun
Whoa.
and Australia and subscribe from it on Netflix.
See, that's why people in some parts of the world just resort to piracy because they want to get their hands on those goods.
That's the
They
thing,
really want to, yeah, and I don't think they would make a loss like withholding. They would actually make a profit if everyone gets access at the same time. Like some time
But
back,
then again, maybe because of the limitation of the shan of the server sometimes. Not per shan.
yeah, maybe it's a limitation of their servers, but it's either you step up,
Yeah.
go big or go home. Step up, make
Exactly, because I've been there for a while now.
yeah.
It's more like even Machan, if like right before even like a sidebar, the same thing about like the world, right? You know, sometimes like someone goes on a world tour. This always bothers me. Like you go on a world tour, but you skip Africa. There's no show in Africa, right? You just go to
Mhm.
Europe, North America, maybe like South America, a few days to South America and Asia, and also and call it a world tour. Like you've left a whole continent all by itself.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, maybe on that part, like, okay, we'll look at the issue of like traveling, right? Traveling will cost
It's
money
easier
for
to,
you to go
no
from
no
one.
it's fact
Yeah.
actually easier even to travel. Let's say like you can use
It's cheaper, yeah.
let's say if you're North American right? If let's say you're American like let's say JJ and goes right, they can
Mm-hmm.
easily travel to South Africa. They usually come for that global thing. The stadiums are there like let's say South Africa huge venues, Namibia as well, like even Zambia as well with like huge venues like where you can host like a stadium kind of arena event. That's not an issue. It's just that they just
Yeah.
overlook us most of the time. That goes back to the same topic we actually these streaming services platforms. They just overlook us as well, like the same thing
Yeah,
like
I think we're not well known with
yeah,
global. So
yeah.
maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's too.
Well,
I
like
don't.
misconception of African accent. Yeah, okay, back
Yeah.
to the same issue. Like, yeah, for
Yeah.
the same thing, right? Okay, now that more streaming services are now being accessible because of the internet service as well. The internet service nowadays like it's super fast nowadays. Like most of the places like 4G and thing, depending on your
Yeah.
device, 4G and right. You can now stream a movie right like back in the day. Remember those buffering days?
Yeah, true. The buffering days. Like like in the past 5 years, internet speed has drastically. Actually, I remember Zambia won an award for I think growing, the fastest growing country in terms of communication. Like in the past 10 years, the amount of people who have cell phones now in Zambia grew more than any other country in the world.
Oh,
Awarded that kind of thing, yeah. Like, because if you remember, 5 years ago, uh, yeah, if you have a smartphone, still you would be limited because maybe of the internet speed, right?
yeah, I remember.
And now, like, we are on the verge of five.
And the expense it was kind of very expensive. Like even getting like 100 MB,
Yeah, yeah, it was quite expensive. Now,
a gig
nowadays,
was like out of your reach. Like remember then, like you used to think like a gig was more like you have to like really shine up. Like you have to save up for a gig.
you have to save up to get a gig. Now, it's just in abundance. I remember when Zamtel, some 3 or 4 years ago, when like internet was installed back here at home. So it was that kind of thing. Like you buy a monthly subscription. It's
Yeah,
not unlimited. It's limited to like 50 gig or something.
yeah, it was capped. Yeah,
It was capped. Then uh, nowadays, like it's unlimited. You can download whatever you want.
yeah. Because nowadays more and more internet companies, internet service providers are now opening businesses. So like they're
Yeah,
forced
true.
now like price their thing products competitively. And like back in the day, like you had a monopoly of Chan.
Yeah, because Liquid Telecom, they've been here twice.
Mm.
They want to install internet. The first month, is it the first 2 months will be free?
Ah.
Yeah, the first 2 months will be free. Will be like all we have to. The installation is supposed to be. They're supposed to charge, but they will do it for free. They'll bring the optic fiber into the house for free. Everything they'll do everything for free. All we have to do is just pay for one monthly subscription. Then we'll get like two free.
Mm.
Yeah. So like now the problem is that dad uh, already has internet, so I don't feel like he's not he's an old school kind of person, so he doesn't feel that urgency.
Okay.
But yeah,
Then this brings the question to now like the same. This ties actually the same question of matches, right? Because now the internet is very accessible, right? That means people are not incentivized to pay for pay TV, right? That's a much DSTV and
yeah,
GoTV, right? Because you can easily access the same shows or pirate them in a sense, like you download them for free
yeah,
than paying how much like a 350 or 400 depending on what the bouquet you have. Why you can just pay the same 450 or 350 for the whole month, yeah, for internet services, right? Then you can actually stream, communicate with people. You get my point. Than you paying for
yeah.
DSTV.
I do get your point, because how much DSTV monthly subscription, like full bouquet, right?
Yeah,
That's their best. That's
yeah,
the
yeah.
best. It's
Unless you
about
pay for box office as well, like you pay DSTV full bouquet plus the box office, plus you add on maybe like that PVR feature.
does do PVR features come at a cost, or they're just free?
I know if you get the upgraded one, that name they don't come at a cost. I'm not really sure about it.
No.
But I remember back then you had to like pay for them, but now I think they just come to.
Oh,
Yeah,
anyway,
but
so
okay,
the,
it run you up to let's say 1,000. If you pay for box,
yeah,
if a movie comes out, you have to pay for box, right? You buy the movie.
yes,
That's roughly about 50 kwacha per movie, right?
roughly.
Yeah, so that means like you spend almost 1,000 on just entertainment. Let's say just be entertained.
Yeah, and the disadvantage of that is I've noticed lately their quality has gone down. Some channels have been removed. There's no Sony Max. I counted like 5 or 6 big channels that we were watching. They're those useless channels that we, not really useless.
The ones
They're
like
not that popular. They're just more like
let's
filler.
say the more choice branded channels like let's like there was Emit One, Two movies and
Okay, those are big ones in
then
terms of they show movies and stuff like that. Yeah, but
then there's those like the other ones like the Fox,
the
the
outsourced one.
Sony's.
Yeah, there's like Trigger. Like so there used to be Sony Max, right?
Yeah, Sony Max, yeah.
Sony is no longer there.
Yeah, even on the TV one is no longer there.
Which other?
My think the reason is do the same thing like where like, most of these companies are now opening their own streaming services, so they're kind of
Yes.
pulling their own content from these other providers to put on their own platforms. Even I say like for Netflix case as well, like even it's kind of the same thing that Match is going to happen to Matches as well. Like they started pulling away content from their own. Listen, like the Netflix case, they pulled
Yeah.
all the Marvel stuff, right? Like this is Daredevil.
Yeah, it's owned by Disney content.
Yeah,
Marvel.
Yeah, because most of the top 10 stream shows are like not even their own content. It's more like Friends, The
Yeah.
Office, uh, what else? Grey's Anatomy. Like, I checked it out. Like the top 5 or 3 are more like shows that they don't own. They're more like licensed to them.
Oh yeah. Who
And
owns Grey's Anatomy? Fox. Is it
know
Fox?
NBC or ABC, someone like it.
Oh, okay.
And they're also coming up with their own streaming platform as well. So like they're all pulling stuff from each other, even Friends as well. Because Friends is one of the biggest stream shows. Seinfeld as well. Like okay,
Yeah.
sidebar. I don't know why people like Seinfeld. Like to me,
Uh,
it's such an okay show.
yeah, it's an okay show, but remember when it came, it revolutionized the sitcom world, and there was a certain crowd it pulled, people who got hooked. So those are the same guys who go back to watch. I don't think it can win new viewers. So it's just based on those people who used to watch.
This is someone really, someone who is really recommends it to you or something. Yeah, like those shows like Netflix, Friends, Seinfeld, The Office. Like The Office is kind of a nice show. Check it out a few episodes. Like three.
Yeah, no, the office is great. It's quite fun. It's very funny actually.
Yeah, like in I think those shows like they're kind of like the top among the top 10 stream shows on Netflix, right?
No, yeah.
Yeah, and there's a huge gap between those shows and their own content. So like even for my shows happen at one point or another, like all their stream shows are going to be pulled from their Netflix, and well,
Mm-hmm.
now that's a question now. Will matches survive or not?
Because they're also moving. They're shifting towards
Making now,
the streaming thing. Yeah, because they have that DSTV Showmax thing, right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Box
the thing
office
is like, who now like with the Showmax be compelling enough to pull? If, let's say like you're watching Netflix, you got Netflix, right, and you got Disney Plus. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
are you going to add Showmax as well? Because that's on Showmax. The shows which are on thing, right? On Netflix or Disney Plus, right? Most of the shows, like, which was
Yes.
it's mostly these American shows which are there as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like Game of Thrones, who produces Game of Thrones? Is it
HBO.
HBO?
HBO also have their own, but other people buy their content, so
Yeah,
it shows on Netflix. I think is it
yeah,
Netflix?
yes,
Yeah,
no
in
shows.
other,
But they also like kind of like more like pushing forward their own streaming services. So they
yeah.
eventually want to put that stuff as well.
Mm-hmm. So okay, these are the now um, this is where MultiChoice has become very aggressive in terms of producing content in African regions, like because it's strong. It's the largest satellite dish provider in Africa.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it has the entire West Africa, part of East Africa. I think if not the entire East Africa, but
East
it's not
Africa, West
Somalia,
Africa, Central Africa,
Central Africa and Southern Africa.
Central Africa, and
Central Africa, although it's only a few countries in Central Africa, for reasons I do not know, because I feel like the countries which are close to the equator are the ones which are directly below the satellites which they own. It's funny. Like anyway, then Southern Africa, right? So lately they've been promoting content to be produced region-wide. Like Southern Africa has got a similar culture compared to the Eastern Africa. They have more like a similar culture of their own. So they're promoting content to be created regional based. If it encompasses everything, yes, then they'll show it. And if it's a great show, they'll show it around Africa. So they've been injecting money in such kind of projects, movies and stuff like that. So we can see that they opened a school for filmmakers where would-be filmmakers will be trained on a professional level so that they can be producing content that's good enough for you to look at Marvel stuff and say, nah, I think I'll stick to the DSTV stuff. But okay, we all know that's for long term.
They put in the money. They can eventually do something.
Yes.
People more prefer to watch something like nothing like a representation. What's about representation now in movies? So
yes. With time, they'll be able to produce good enough content. Yes, I know that, but I don't think the demand can afford to wait because look at how fast Netflix is growing. Look at how much money Disney stuff, how popular Disney Disney content has become. When I say Disney, I mean everything like Pixar.
For me, like Netflix is eventually going to die out in a sense. Like they're the pioneers. Like it's more like they're like the first guys to do it. They did it well, but not well enough to sustain themselves in a sense. Like it's more like a short run.
But it's still the biggest internet TV provider.
For now, until the other place that thing launches, DSTV Plus, that will automatically
Disney Plus.
Yeah, DSTV, not Disney Plus. When Disney Plus launches, it will.
Yeah.
Even like that they're kind of in debt because they borrowed a lot of money to pay more like to finance their movies and stuff like that.
Yeah, I get that. and they've been up and about buying content from independent filmmakers, from other people. And they pay well. But I heard that the one that pays best is Uhuru actually.
Oh.
Like, yeah. I was listening to some podcast, Indie Film Hustle. It's a podcast about independent filmmakers, how they can generate money, so they bring different topics, like how would I get my content? I'm an independent filmmaker. I want to get my content on Netflix. So they spoke about these same guys, the big three, which is Amazon, Hulu, and
even Amazon as well. If you forgot about Amazon as well.
Yeah, Amazon. Like they tried to do the Top Gear thing, like where the concept for Top Gear. It just didn't work. I don't. Maybe it has its crowd, but Top Gear was just.
They got the same guys, the same old cast.
The same guys, the same concept, but I don't know. I heard that it's been cancelled.
Yeah. Sometimes like it was good for it.
Sometimes even the people, like the team behind that, would be the reason why something is succeed. So the
run is coming to a close, then that scandal happens, then it gets kind of popular in a sense because of the people talking about what was said, what was done. Then people jump on the same thing. Over such same traction to carry forward to the next platform.
Mm-hmm,
then that thing dies out because like students feel the same as well. Like the hype has gone. So, because now there's even like car shows. The internet kind of more like made it very accessible for anyone to produce and make your own car show. Some are very wildly popular nowadays. Like you just have to go to Facebook. That's the blonde chick who does car videos.
Car reviews.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen them. Like the one I follow the most is Car Wow on YouTube. Like so like I don't really feel like there's a need for Top Gear. Yeah, because like there's several guys I follow on YouTube, on Facebook. When there's a review about a car I'm interested in or that I like, or just check it out.
Yeah.
So on that part I feel like Top Gear is really. I don't think they can create a big impact even if they came back.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. So anyway, back to the Netflix thing. Like, in terms of content, right?
Yeah.
We all know. Okay, if I can ask you, name one Netflix original show or movie that really, really created an imprint. I know we haven't watched a lot of Netflix original content, but did you come across one that like wowed you? That you feel like
the movie, Bright, the Will Smith movie.
Bright, the one where he was a cop.
Yeah, that's a great movie.
But I don't know. They gave it bad reviews. I haven't seen that one yet.
I think like where critics come like, cause it's more like where Will Smith was one of the biggest. It's been one of the biggest movie stars, right?
Yeah.
Then plus people have always rebelled against Netflix format of just making movies to be streamed than them going to cinemas. It kind of destroys the action. That thing like Netflix disrupted the business of where people go to movies, then the cinemas make money off it. The critics also make money off the reviews and like. But for Netflix, it kind of cuts out the critics and the cinemas in a sense.
Yeah.
Because the only thing that cinemas now like are more kind of important in a sense like for a movie to win an Academy Award, it has to be shown in cinemas in a sense. So if you notice most movies, if they want to be more like nominated for an Academy Award, they show them in limited amount of cinemas. That's a movie, the Idris Elba movie. Like where was it? A rebel leader.
What's that? I saw it yesterday. What's the name of that movie? Let me just check it. I have it somewhere, right? I was looking at it.
Okay, yeah, that's the same movie, right? Like most times, like when you want to push a movie for an academy, right? They show it in limited number of cinemas to more like qualify for it to be shown, to be considered for an academy award or any name.
Actually, they say it's not supposed to show on any TV or the internet in like after 2 years of its release. You can release a movie in 2019, right? It hits the cinemas. Then it can show at the Academy Awards.
Yeah,
But
but kind of Netflix kind of circumvents that thing by showing them in legend. That kind of thing. Where
yes,
now
yeah. So
I
Netflix
think
is thinking.
that's what led the hate for that movie. Right, the movie is a great movie. Like, even like if you read people's reviews of the movies, like just read in the comments, people say it's a great movie. People say it's a good movie. It's not the best movie ever, but it's a great movie
It's a
compared to
nice
how
movie.
it was trust by the critics. Because the critics like, they had their own agenda as well. Like the more like saying like trusting a movie. Because if you trust a movie and people don't watch it, that means the guys who make the movies will be more inclined, will not be eager to make another movie in that same regard, right? They'll be more like, people won't watch it, but people watch the movie. So that's
I understand.
yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, for me, on my side, Netflix original movies. Do I know any one of their movies that? Okay, I haven't watched a whole lot of them because they are relatively new. And I've watched a whole lot of them which are bad. And on that part, I can side with the critics. Maybe they were expecting something different. Okay, let me not encompass Bright in that bracket. But I've watched a lot of movies, Netflix movies, which are quite bad. What's the movie where they were trying to take humans to another planet, then they were trying to evolve them into... Okay, because I was looking at it, when I'm analyzing a movie, a film, I'll look at it from a logical point of view. There were so many things that were done that were so illogical. Like, they were, like, really, dude, you don't even know if you survive. And you're like, no, when we hit that planet, and then there was actually one person in the room who pointed it out. Like, what if this happens? Then the main protagonist was like, do you have kids? Like, no, the guy was like, no, what about the people who have kids, blah, 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 and stuff like that. And he was like, do you have kids? No, then shut the F up. Like, really, you know, who's that? There's that guy who's loved by Netflix. He does a lot of that stuff. There's actually a movie coming out. Which he's going to star in. Avatar.
James Cameron.
No, not James Cameron. No, James Cameron, does he do any movies anymore, or he's interested? He's working with Pixar. What's that? Apple.
Apple.
Yeah, he's shooting Avatar 2 and 3.
We should become on Apple. We should come on Apple.
Sorry?
We premiere on Apple or what? On Apple TV?
No. He's obviously to hit the cinemas because they know how much money they'll make, because it's still the highest grossing movie of all time. So obviously they'll make billions again on 2 and 3. But 2022, I think that's when it's scheduled for release. But they've started shooting. He was given $1 billion to shoot both.
That movie, if you just had to follow the story itself, that movie is trash. If you just tried for the strip the graphic effects, the movie is an okay movie. So.
Okay, not trash on that, but yes, I agree with you. And that's the thing. Like,
I've been interested in this kind of movie before. If you go back, those Western movies, or even like those people like white dude goes to a foreign land.
Pocahontas. Yeah. But the Last of the Mohicans, those kind of where a white person goes to another. Yeah, like we've seen that story over and over again. But there's a saying.
Like, I was like, he pissed him like, sorry, basically Pocahontas. Yes, but with CGI. The robot.
Something never done before. Blue people. It's true. You can get a great story and give it to amateur storytellers, and they'll ruin it. And you can get a mediocre story and give it to great storytellers, and they'll make it better. And it's very, very true. I've seen several movies like that, whereby the storytellers were... I'll give an example. What's this? That movie, Lucy. And I know you like that movie. I keep on bashing that movie. I'll never stop. Lucy, it's just professional filmmakers who just know how to captivate you visually and everything, and great producers who just marketed it well. But that movie, when I say what's the most disappointing movie you've seen, that one I think tops. Okay, not really tops my list, but it's there. It's right on top.
Okay, let me ask you, how do you wanted the movie to end? If you hadn't said it's a bad movie, how would you like it
Yes.
to end?
This which brings me back to the point I was trying to make. Like when I'm analyzing a film, right?
Hmm.
I'm really critical about it, and I'll relate
Okay,
it to the end.
no, explain what was wrong with the movie.
There was no friction. There was no reason. There was nothing that can stop her. But why did she have trouble going to where she was going? There's no one in your way. You're the most powerful being from the word go. But there was no conflict. Period. There was no conflict. She had not. Once she just took those drugs, we all knew she was unstoppable. She developed superpowers and everything, blah blah blah. Because when they say that no, you use more than 10% of your brain's capacity, I expect you to be the smartest person on earth. Do some smart stuff that even I cannot think about. To be honest, there's nothing Lucy did in that movie that I cannot think of myself. So it's on that
I
part.
tried to watch the movie, Kelly. I tried know what's happen.
Like she never did something so extraordinary, intelligent. Like it was just like she just shoot for that because she could tell that
She tried
she's
humble,
not
right?
going to
And
survive.
she gave the first chance, the first Neanderthal. She don't you think didn't get the movie like when I got in like and it wasn't for Lucy, you wouldn't be smart right now.
Ah, see, that's just a claim. Like when I say, look, I'll give you an example. A movie that impressed me, like where
Don't
the
say
character.
Inception. Don't say Inception. Don't say
No, no,
Inception.
not Inception. Inception is also grounded. It's more of it's on a simple side. Some movies are just so simple, but they'll do something that's just so smart. And you like, I keep on talking about The Negotiator, uh,
There's a movie.
the Samuel Jackson movie.
Oh.
Yeah, you should rewatch it and just see how intelligent the guy was. Like he thought of things just from the top of his head. And when you sit down, you understand that this was the only way possible, and it was so logical and it was so intelligent that even I would have had trouble to think of this. That's what I expected. Something to be like it doesn't have to be no. She counted to infinity. She like something grand. The best. It's like a plot, right? The best plots are the ones that are just so simple. A guy wants to have a girl. He approaches her. He's not the best. She has eyes for another guy who is more than the same guy pursuing her. So what is he supposed to do? He can trick her into falling for him, but he won't keep her. So what's the best thing to do? He has to work towards the level where that guy is either he's above that challenge of his, or this is so simple. This is like the skeleton. Those skeletons we were studying in biology. Like that's just a skeleton of a love. What do we call this now? Love kind of thing is drama. That where a guy wants girl does not want guy, or girl wants guy out of their reach kind of thing. Well, like that's so cliche, but it works all the time. Reason being, it's so simple and it's what everyone faces. Usually, I don't know about you, but we will tend to like somebody who does not like us, or who has eyes for another person. And the person might actually be less than us, but the girl cannot see it because she's just blinded by love. So, which will make us work towards that person even more. Now, for Lucy, like, sometimes trying to say what Lucy, like, I always say this, like, some people use big words in order to sound intelligent. That's what Lucy did. It talked about big things in order to sound intelligent, but it was actually a damn stupid movie. Somebody gets supernatural powers from the word go. There is no other person who can challenge her, but she's having trouble. Why? On that part, okay, man. Let's talk about something else. Like that's the movie, the Netflix film.
You guys your gears.
Yeah, it's my gears are not. It's working me up. Anyway, that's what's the name of that movie? He started turning into an alien. The same dude.
And I've seen the trailer.
Yeah, like he could swim. He was like whitish. He started turning whitish in color. Started gliding in the end. Like he was sent to that same planet in the end. Like Okay, that one was bad because I actually slept when I was watching it. Then woke up, then still. So it's if they're going to be
back to the same time, like, okay, eventually, people will not be tuned in to, or people won't be inclined to get matches unless matches moves from just to more like based on sporting events, because that's how they see that you can't really stream those events in a sense. Like, or
yeah.
unless FIFA itself or UEFA makes their own apps, but they make a lot of money by listing out that stuff. So like,
Yeah, true. Yeah, true. Yeah, on that part, yes, because Facebook was willing to buy the rights from what's this Sky Sports, which own the rights to uh, the Premier League. They were willing to pay billions of dollars just to have that, just to have the ability to stream matches on their platform. And so many people like came in. Sky Sports was like, cool. So if you have a better offer, you other guys come with a better offer. You get my point. So that should be a bidding war. But I don't know, like took it to the European court of whatever, then they lost. So that's how Facebook, at least, has stayed quiet for now. But I think that in future, it will get its hands on it. Because even Google was interested as well.
oh, Sky Sports complained.
No, other parties complained who buy the rights from Sky Sports in order to air the football matches on TV channels. Yeah. So Facebook is free. All you have to do is just buy internet and watch.
Yeah, I think you can watch La Liga matches in India free on Facebook, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, see, already I think because is La Liga owned by maybe in Africa the rights to air La Liga were bought by Sky Sports because they're the ones who air La Liga in Africa. They're the ones who sell content to DSTV. So it trickles down. They buy it from La Liga, the Spanish Football Association. I don't know who owns them. Then Sky Sports sells it to other channels it provides. So anyway, back to the Netflix thing. Like, if they're not going to step their game up, they'll really. He's the same dude I was talking about. He's doing another film, but it feels like those movies I've watched. They're nice movies. They're psychological thrillers. What's that movie where a girl a lady was on a plane, then she lost her daughter on the plane, and they were like, "We never saw you with a girl."
I know the movie talking about. Don't remember.
Yeah. And everyone was like, no, then, like the US Marshal was like the actual bad guy. So everyone was like, they tried to play it off like, no, you're just crazy. You've been taking medication for psychological whatever. Then everyone is like, some people are even convinced that the woman is just crazy because they never saw her with a child. But eventually the child was found. I saw a film like that. But I don't know if the guy was actually, like, he took his daughter to the hospital. Is it his daughter or his wife? I think his daughter.
Some of those movies won't watch nowadays, 2019. Some of those movies. It's some of the cell phone.
Yeah, okay. I think they can work. They can make if it's a low budget film, then you because okay usually.
No. They say like if someone had a smartphone in their hands, I lost my daughter. Just pulls out the phone and locks it. Here are the pictures of me and my daughter.
Yeah, it's true. I agree with you. There's so much.
The phone. No, give me your phone. Give me your phone. Let me go to Instagram.
Yeah. So they were like, no, your daughter has been blah blah blah. Like he made it's the usual stuff. Where's my daughter? Blah blah blah. So I don't think that with such movies can sell as much as they used to nowadays because they're a bit. For me, on my part, I've watched several films like that. There's another one I watched, which was similar. Even Nonstop, he's in the same thing. Nonstop by Liam Neeson. It's like more. It's in the same field. So I feel like those have been played out. So, but I recently saw the trade for Breaking Bad.
It's good.
It's okay. It was just a teaser. It wasn't even a trailer. It was just a teaser, like police radio. I recently saw the trailer for Breaking Bad. It was just not really trailer. It was teaser. Like he was just in a car, and they were like, somebody like he killed a bunch of people and everything. So they're looking for like the car he was driving, the car he was in. I have just forgotten. I think it was a Chevy or a Ford, like some van.
Mm.
So that's the only thing I saw. So it's hard to tell if it will be good or not. Sometimes when you make such a great show, following it up will be very tricky. It's like what happened to The Last Airbender, right? The Last Airbender was a great show. It really wowed a lot of people around the world. Then they tried to make a movie out of it.
No, I don't like about the last thing. Let's say movie.
Yeah.
How they're related.
How they relate to what?
Ang and the same girl, right? Cora, right? They're more like the grandchild, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because even in the way it was portrayed, right? Every airbender comes from a different tribe, right?
Yeah.
It just randomly selects some from anywhere. Can be the same guy who win airbender, right? The next one will probably be a firebender or earthbender, that kind of thing, right? But they're never related.
They're never related. That's the way it's supposed to be.
No, it's not reasonable. It's not the way. I don't think so.
I think they're related. I think they're okay. I've forgotten, but I think they're related.
It shows like randomly selects like if the last one is an airbender, the next one will be a firebender, just like that. In the long line of people, just like it just switches from different groups, right? That's what. But I don't think they were ever related. No one was ever related to one another.
I think they are. Okay, the first airbender, right? Who is that guy? There was a guy, like the first airbender just happened to get those powers through
that
trickery. Yeah, the first two powers were through trickery. Then he was found out. Then yes, for forgiveness. Then after seeing,
what do you mean?
He created trouble somewhere. Then when he separated the dark spirit and the light spirit, separated them. So he had to go to those other were they turtles or tortoises? I think the other tortoises for other abilities. Then when he managed to get everything, that's when he started using his powers to fight off that dark evil spirit. So that dark evil spirit had an influence on the spirit creatures which were living in the forest. So fight ensued, but he couldn't totally defeat it. Then the light spirit, the bright one, the good one, could not survive without the dark one. So once the dark separates from the light, the dark starts becoming powerful in the white one. The light one starts becoming weaker. So that's what happened. Like initially, then eventually they started fighting and everything. Then the light got destroyed. But she had told him that light will always exist in each and every one of us. So it's up to us to bring it out. That's how. But in the beginning, like they merged, in order to sustain her, they merged the light and him. The airbender, the avatar. You're there, right?
No, I'm saying I hate like a same cliche.
Hello?
No, I'm saying I hate that cliche. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I'm saying I hate that cliche of saying the light once like the light becomes weaker, the darkness becomes stronger. Like there's never a point in the movie like the all at equal part. Then the guy,
they just start becoming weaker. Both of them.
Yeah, one of them does something that's weak creative. Like they say, no wonder is that. Now that becomes strong, not the way like out of nowhere, like, one becomes weaker, one becomes stronger. Like, why?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a good thing. Like, okay, I feel like it's been played out. Like I think every movie where they talk about light and dark, where they talk about the yin and yang, they always talk about coexistence. Like one cannot exist without the other, and usually the evil one grows stronger.
Then that's not coexistence. Then that's not coexistence, guys. That's something else.
So that it was like then the guy, after getting those powers, tried to fight the evil spirit. Then they merged with the good one. If my memory serves me, I don't know if it's after the fight or before the fight when they merged with the
during the fight.
the white.
These things are like almost.
Oh no, just after the fight, yeah, like after they almost died, and like let's merge together so that I can live in you and survive, blah blah blah. So that's how they say fighting now. Like that's how it's in the atmosphere.
Yeah, back the same time. Like Sumo. That's why. That's what I'm saying. That's one reason I don't really like it.
No. So like he said
no.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, in the first one, right?
Yeah.
The elders were like, when I was selected, they said that one of these children is going to be an airbender.
Oh.
Yeah, they never said who. If they refer to by relation, they will say that the grandson of the last airbender was going to be this one, or the child of that thing. It was more like a randomly selected thing, if you remember correctly. It was more like they gave them a test, like each one, water bends, fire bends, right? Then
yeah. No, okay, but like okay, true, yeah. It's true they're not it's not okay, they can be related, but it doesn't mean they have to be related. It's a random thing. I get what you mean. Like there was a prophecy because the Fire Lord heard of that prophecy. Like the next avatar will come from the airbending nation. Then he destroyed all the airbenders, hoping that he would destroy Aang as well. Then Aang survived. Then resurfaced.
But never lived.
I don't know.
They can say move to destroy the Shan.
So, they never learn, do they?
Even in the Bible, it's there as well.
Yeah. It's an age-old tale. So that's how.
If was about to be like, wait. Let's not do the obvious here. Let's let them leave. I love they kill each other.
Yeah, true. Like I get. Yeah, I remember. It's not. I don't think it's a must. They're supposed to be related. They can be related. They cannot be. Like the situation for Aang. Like the hundreds of years passed, then Aang resurfaced as the avatar.
I think he never died, so he was just hiding or taking a nap.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's the way it is. Like, and speaking of Netflix, they're going to be doing what's this? They're going to be doing an Avatar series. What do you call that? Motion picture. I really hope they can do their best because, in as much as they're one of the people that are really investing a lot in the filmmaking world, the filmmaking industry. So is Amazon. But I feel like Amazon could do more because of their resources. I don't know. Maybe they're skeptical about how long.
Netflix days are numbered if you don't act up. We're talking about marriages, right? And how much is going to be affected by this streaming platforms. So, will it survive or not? Because of more like going to something else.
I feel like if it jumps onto the bandwagon of creating an internet TV platform, it will survive. And if it becomes cheaper to access, because remember, these guys have servers like in different countries and other things. But I feel like on that part, like having a TV station and having internet servers, of course, TV station, you have to involve a lot more people, so you spend a lot of money. I feel like if Multichoice can shift their platform from ordinary traditional TV to internet, they might survive. Because I don't think each and everyone will have their own platform as these studio companies. I'm sure there's a lot more others.
Yeah, there's an African streaming platform. Some Nigerian made. Yeah, I checked out last time some African streaming platform as well.
Even what's that? Mingeli Parata, that Zambian guy. Yeah, he's got a streaming platform as well. You can download this app, Mengeli Palat TV. But as of course, he can't afford to buy the greatest content, so he'll buy these small, ordinary stuff. So you can stream his series.
But the thing is, like, that's a good play in the long run. Like, it's like someone might come and buy his platform and just use that more like something to add.
But it all goes. I think it all goes back to what are you providing to the people? You might have the platform, but if you're not providing what the people want or need at the time, because right now everyone is crazy about superheroes. Netflix, what's that?
No, the thing about it, right? That's more like John, like that's more like an international craze in the sense like everyone these big studio companies are crazy about superheroes. But let's say if you look at from a local scene, right? What's most popular in Zambia? These local dramas, right? Let's like if you bring it back here.
But believe you me, if somebody created a proper superhero thing, everyone will shift. The young ones will shift. Trust me. So everyone is crazy about superheroes. It's a frenzy. This is the superhero era we're in. Of course, it will die out, but I don't think it will completely die out, such as the Western movies. But the hype will no longer be as much as it is, because even ordinary action films.
Even now, the hype has gone down. Ever since the last time, before the Avengers movie, the last one.
It's not as big.
But when reached its peak yet, the peak has already been reached.
Yeah. Anyway, we're yet to see how far, but I don't think it will get bigger than this. This is its climax. I think this is the top. This is the paramount spot. Anyway, but on like if one will be able to predict the next era and start releasing great content over that same era, I think they can get attention. I think it will be based on who is packing more content that suits this situation. I think those are the guys who will survive. Because obviously, if I watch, like Amazon has got, I heard what's that thing? They have I heard it's a nice show. Is it The Boys? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not sure. Like, anyway, that's what it
based on.
I don't know. It's just great. It's not my phone. I think it's a network. Anyway, as I was saying, like, I think now the one who is most likely to succeed will be the one who will be able to predict what the next step is in the film genre, in series genre. Right now we're in the superhero era, right? So the one who will be able to predict what the next big wave is and produce a lot of great content in that area, I think they'll have the upper hand.
Okay, now the question is,
what's the next?
No.
Yeah.
Which, as a filmmaker, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have to follow two trains: the local train and the international train, in a sense. Because kind of live in a dual sense, right? Kind of live on the ground in Africa, right? And one goes in here in Africa, and one goes outside, right? You can have to manage the two, right? Now, as a local, do you follow the international train, or do you follow the local train, or which one do you follow if you're in filmmaking?
As a filmmaker, okay, like I'm still in the learning process, but I've reached a point whereby I have principles of my own. Like I can't do such a thing. I can do such a thing. Like I feel like it's not really about what era you're in, but more like there's, in as much as it's a sci-fi film, there will always be either love or these other useless things.
Yeah.
Like love.
Sci-fi, right? But here locally, sci-fi don't really work well because of the way the people, not much focus is put on sci-fi, right?
I think it's just the way the level of content is not. When you watch, it's like I produce a superhero movie. Whether I like it or not, whether it's for the local people or not, they will automatically compare it to what they've already seen, and they've seen the best of the best.
But the thing is, we have seen local content, let's say South African content, right? Which an international audience in a sci-fi format, like District 8. Is it District 9?
District 9.
District 9, right?
That one will be really, it's on top. It's really up there.
So that proves that people can make sci-fi movies. But the thing is, locally, what's the trend now that people are following now? If you look at local stuff,
the trend is drama. Locally,
right?
like here in Zambia, it's just drama. The same old TV drama. This person hates that person. They're competing against. I want to be the president of this company. No, that's my man. That's my girl. That the usual stuff. But I feel like if a person can come with an idea and just make a great show, people will shift. Because those are just like the basic fundamentals, right? Like that's the basics. So if those apply in anything, you can make a sci-fi film about aliens and there'll still be that. Yeah, you can make a film about Western era or old Egyptian times. There'll still be that. So I feel like it depends with the world you are going to set it up in. And if the world is very impressive, and this also goes on production value as well. Just because I'm shooting laser beams from my eye, and it looks like it was graphics created on a cell phone, that doesn't mean it will sell. It really has to be convincing. You have to sell it. It has to be, because we've seen a person who releases laser beams from the eyes, and it's called Superman. And even no matter how high his production value was, he still flopped. So you really have to impress. They say, I remember one guy, you can hear me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember one filmmaker he was talking about filmmaking and stuff. He was like, let me tell you one thing. Like, imagine the world, the film you're writing is going to be, close your eyes, then you close. So you say, okay, a superhero thing. Okay. Don't tell me. So tell me, see that you've published your book or your film. It's on the shelf now. You're going. You see it on the shelf. What film is it next to in the same genre? And like, oh, okay, mine is next to Avengers. So then it's like, now you know your competition. Write something equally as good or better, period. If you do something mediocre, you automatically people compare you to that. Because even yourself in your mind, subconsciously, you're comparing yourself to those. So that's, if you approach, I think, the filmmaking, if you approach the content making in that perspective, we'll be able to up our game in a way of some sort. Because you know that, in as much as people say, no, I'm not trying to copy anyone, I'm just trying to be unique, there's no such thing as I'm alone. You're competing in a world full of filmmakers, so you have to step your game up. So I feel like that's why most of these other genres which have high production value, suck up a lot of money, fail in Africa, because we don't really produce the best of the best in terms of quality. They're not convincing anyway. My item has gone out.
Yes, that's a wrap for today.
Okay.
The internet gods, the cell phone gods have said.
Check your outside.
I shall.